So Cass, we have a very low bar to clear tonight. It's perfection. Nothing less, but it's super easy. You'll get it. Don't worry. All right. The Puerto Rican Nocturne, Act 1, Interrogations. In the back of the stage, there is a screen that shows videos, photos, and quotes. Under darkness, we see the images of two young men, Carlos Enrique Soto Arjubi and Arnaldo Daniel Rosado. After having been beaten and shot to death, their photos alternate with the last words of Soto Arjubi. Si me vas a matar, dame el tiro en la cabeza para no sufrir. And then 1978 flashes on the screen. A spotlight up on stage left shows Detective Olivera and Gonzo seated across from each other. Spotlight dims and another comes up stage right on Adria standing behind her son's coffin, and then fades. We hear Detective Olivera's first lines in the darkness.
When did the plan first come about?
July 3rd, the Chilean consulate incident.
Why? What about that event inspired what happened at Cerro Maravilla?
It was the anger. I'd known those kids for 2 years and never saw them so angry. It seemed like an opportunity.
How so? Nationalists are always angry. It's a sport for them.
That standoff lasted, what, 18 hours, give or take? At first, everybody was glued to their TVs. We were at Hernando's place in Atorrey, just me and him and one other guy, I don't remember him. When the news announced the nationalists had taken hostages and had full control of the consulate, Arnaldo started calling everybody he knew. I never heard him so excited, and in the room, it was palpable, the energy. When they started making demands to free the political prisoners, it was like the days of Aviso, of really sticking it to the man. I saw it in all their faces. This was the moment that everything was going to change and that the revolution was going to come and it would be glorious. Within an hour, about 10 other guys showed up, including Quique.
The other victim? Carlos.
Yeah, we call him Quique. He had worked with us for about a year. Good kid, just fucking stupid. Misguided. Like the rest of them, I guess.
You were saying everyone was at the apartment, excited, cheering on the nationalists.
And right before July 4th, that was the kicker. Get the U.S. to free convicted terrorists on their biggest national holiday. The biggest fuck you possible, right?
And when it went south?
Devastation. You can't even imagine. The minute the negotiations went in the cops' favor, Arnaldo and the others started talking about how action needed to be done. That we couldn't just let the government win again. You know, you hang around nationalists and disappointments are pretty common. People bitch and moan and make threats, but they're empty 99% of the time. But this was rage. And I saw in the eyes of everybody in that room the potential for something big.
So you had them rob guards at Liukura.
We needed an arsenal. We had to start somewhere.
And then you used those very guns to shoot at Munoz Marin's house.
Let us win.
What about the bomb attempt? You called that in before any damage could be done.
It didn't feel right.
Were you worried about civilian casualties?
Of course. It was too public of a place, and you know, I liked my job. I had to build up a case, but not that way.
You expressed frustrations to your liaison in the past concerning building cases without incriminating yourself.
Yes, our job is a catch-22. It's stupid.
If you knew that you couldn't detonate a bomb in a public space without inflicting casualties, why set up the bomb to begin with?
Honestly, I had to earn their respect, their trust, that I was all in just as they were, that we would not let the embarrassment of July 3rd keep us from launching our revolution. That was the atmosphere I was dealing with.
Who came up with the idea for each of these acts of resistance?
I did.
So they already followed you.
Of course, you know that.
Then why set up a bomb that wouldn't go off?
That piece of shit wasn't gonna do much damage, really. Dang.
Answer the question. If you are having a hard time answering this question, the rest of this interview will be very unpleasant.
I needed to make them angry enough to buy into the Cerro Maravilla plan.
Did you receive guidance or approval from your superiors for this plan?
Yes and no.
Which is to say, no.
Have you ever met Capitan Morales? Do you know the kind of man he is?
He's godfather to my oldest. I'd like to think I know him very well.
Then you know his attitudes and how he recruits.
Depends on what you're referring to.
When he recruited me in high school, he made it very clear how he felt about nationalism.
Line upstage comes up on Captain Morales, dressed in a suit and wearing a Panama hat. He addresses the audience as if they were a young Gonzo.
Our country is at risk, son. You know that? And I don't mean from the Russians. I mean the students at this school. I mean the guy who fixes your dad's car, your mom's favorite carnicero, the teachers here even. You go to Carmelita's Panaderia every day like most of the kids in this neighborhood. Did you know that Angelica, la cajera, is a registered independentista? Her father participated in the 1950 revolution. Think I'm wrong? You think all these people you have trusted your life with are really who they say they are? Did you know that for every independentista we know about, there are 5 in hiding, acting like any law-abiding citizen, yet in their closet they keep a bandera de Lares, a picture of Albizu Campo, and una bandera puertorriqueña. You can know someone for years and think they're a good person, God-fearing, proud, trustworthy. Yet deep down, they want nothing more than to destroy the United States, the last beacon of freedom in the world. These Puerto Ricans want to hand us over to Fidel and the commies and threaten our peace and prosperity. That is, unless brave men like you and me break through those lies and bring these conspirators to justice.
Upstage spotlight fades and downstage spotlight rises, returning to the interrogation.
He always said, Puerto Ricans don't know what's good for them. They have to be told, sometimes firstly.
That does sound like Captain Morales.
I knew he would approve.
Of assassinating 2 unarmed men.
It would have been 5 had the others not chickened out. Then I'd really be a hero. Could be governor even. Now I'll be lucky if I get more than a promotion.
You executed 2 unarmed men, 1 a minor.
They were terrorists. They might have been operated under my orders, but they planned on blowing up those towers. A serious crime, which me and my men prevented heroically.
I didn't realize being shot in the pinky by your own men was heroic.
A serious wound, mind you.
It's a fucking child's wound. Did the bullet even graze bone? Why the fuck do you have a goddamn splint on, for Christ's sake?
It's a cover, all right? What if they had escaped? They could have pinned the whole thing on me. I had to do something.
So while you were whisked away to treat your wound, you had directed the other agents to beat and execute the 2 victims.
Stop calling them victims. They were wannabe terrorists.
You see this? This is what your men did while you were running off to the hospital with a flesh wound. This was your plan, no?
Yes. Well, not being shot in my pinky, that was unintended. They were supposed to rough me up
Speaking of unintended fuck-ups, the cab driver.
The who?
Jose Molina. The person you kidnapped to drive you to Santa Maravilla instead of, I don't know, driving your own car? Or maybe having him drop you off far enough away from the location that you drive off and not see the whole goddamn mess.
He wasn't killed.
Precisely. Why not?
I don't really have an answer for that.
You're gonna need one.
things escalated and much faster than I expected it, and maybe some details.
You have a witness.
And we're cops. Who are they gonna fucking believe? Huh? Some ignorant taxista? Really?
I've sat here for the last 10 minutes, listening to your excuses, which are only slightly different than the other agents, since all they seem to know is that you offered a chance to make some noise. Which you did. They had the instructions you gave them, and they acted accordingly. Do you not understand why you are here? We needed the whole story so we could figure out how to navigate this shit show courtesy of you and your friends. This is not the place for excuses or justifications, defenses. This isn't a fucking court. This room should be the last place you ever reveal what happened 2 days ago, because contrary to your low regard for nationalists, they do have a following. Not all of them are bullshitters. You know the Macheteros? Of course. You probably wish you had infiltrated them, don't you?
Yeah, this is some real work.
After seeing how you fucked up dealing with some low-level activist this department, and yours truly is thankful that wasn't the case. The Macheteros would have slit your throat the second you walked in the door, and if the truth gets out about Santa Maravilla, you won't even know they're coming for you. You'll be taking a shower, stepping out of the car, walking your fucking dog, and the next thing you know, a bullet to your head.
Bring it then. I can handle them.
Says the man who was rushed to the hospital for a pinky wound.
I know this all seems bad now, and there's a lot of complications, and we have to get our story straight. I get that, but I just gave you, this department, and Governor Romero Barceló the biggest blow against independence since Albizu died. We can take what happened on that mountain and turn it into a rallying call against these commies who want to turn Puerto Rico into a dictatorship. Just as one. America won. And if the macheteros do kill anybody, even if they kill me, that's just further proof of the kind of authoritarianism and oppression the nationalists will commit if they were ever given power. You should be thanking me for the work I've done.
That right there. We can't have that. If everyone is to walk away from this clean, we need you to keep your cool. You think you're such a great actor, you think you're an elite cop. Prove it to me! Prove to me that a high school recruit who didn't even go to the academy, who has received minimal formal training, is a person who deserves to keep this job, let alone get a promotion. Keep your fucking cool. You dig?
What do you need from me?
I want you to repeat after me. And what I say is the only story you will ever repeat in public.
Yes, sir.
The shooting at Cerro Maravilla
The shooting at Cerro Maravilla
was an act of self-defense.
was an act of self-defense.
The suspects were armed and fired first.
The suspects were armed and fired first.
The agents on the scene did everything to de-escalate the situation.
Agents on the scene did everything to de-escalate the situation.
The agents defended themselves in accordance with the law.
The agents defended themselves in accordance with the law.
Do you have any questions?
When can I speak to Capitan Morales?
When Captain Morales calls for you, you'll know.
Spotlight on Steve's left. Fades as the spotlight on Steve's right comes upon Adria. Adria stands before her son's casket. She lays a bouquet of flowers on top and lays her hands down, then extends her body over the length of the casket as if hugging.
My mother buried 3 of her children, all younger than 5. I never understood how she found the strength to go on. I wish she were alive so I could ask. But no matter what she said, I still wouldn't understand. I will never be happy again. You will always be missing from me. I don't remember life before you. Sometimes I think I'm remembering something from my childhood only to realize it was yours. I was just a child, still a stupid child, praying the rosary with my abuela and believing everything the church and schools taught me. I thought if I raised you outside of that world, I'd protect you from all the dumb lies we are sold. That if you saw the world for what it is, that you wouldn't be so trusting of the wrong people. Last night I couldn't sleep. I miss your voice. I fear I'm losing it already. I fear when I forget how you sounded that I'll lose you once again and I'll be left with only my mistakes.
Eusebio enters and bases on it.
People are already arriving. How much longer do you need?
I wish this wait could just be us. I don't want to see anyone.
Well, I can't tell everyone to go home. A lot of people love to geek in. They all want to say goodbye.
My heart is heavy. Like a black hole is growing inside of me.
I know. I don't know whether to scream or cry.
My son. What the hell did he do to deserve this? He was my sweet boy. I keep touching my face to try to feel the traces of his kisses that he gave me every morning. He's never gonna kiss me again. He'll never hug me again. And I already miss him more than I can stand.
Adria cries into Eusebio's shoulder. She then regains her control and appears calm.
You didn't let in any press, did you?
No. Octavia and Jose made sure of it. They caught one reporter from the Star and another from El Nuevo Dia.
They have no respect.
They're just doing their jobs. Don't make it right, but what the hell is right about all this?
I want to bury my son. They want to sell papers.
It doesn't help that Arnaldo's family has given the press full access.
His father is famous. He's used to media circuses. And a man like that thinks turning his son's death into a cost is a way of showing his love.
Not everyone grieves the same, Adria. And being in this position, wouldn't you want to use whatever clout you had to bring your child justice?
Is that what you want to do?
He's trying to unite the Pipolos with the other nationalist groups. One voice, like we always needed. He called me last night, said they would try to organize a silver suit, get those cops to go on the stand, catch them in their lie. If together we can show the Estadidas for who they really are, if this tragedy could turn the tide of public opinion toward independence, their deaths won't be in vain.
He wasn't your son.
I know that you're just angry
He
talking.
was Rogelio's son. And you, being such a good friend, rode right in the moment he left.
I raised him since he was a toddler. He was my
But
son.
you didn't carry him. And he didn't have your face. You might as well have been a stranger.
Why are you doing this? You think I'm not hurting? You think I'm not furious and just trying to find some way to make this right?
You'll never be right. What if the cops are lying? What if they're caught? What if the entire Estadista establishment is crushed and the whole movement is torn to shreds? Quique is not coming home.
And if we do nothing? If we do nothing, then he dies all over again. His death has no meaning. Because we wouldn't have fought for him.
Pimping out his memory for political gain is not fighting for him. It's exploiting our pain. It's exploiting his life. I don't miss him because it can score some political points at a goddamn rally. I miss him because he's my son. I raised him.
We raised him.
Go to hell! When you were busy at your meetings and marches, I was wiping his ass and making sure he was fed and clothed and safe. You were the one that had him protesting at 8 years old and told him all your stories about, about Alviso's funeral and knowing Antonia and how your fathers fought in the revolution. You made it all so exciting and noble and fake. It was all fake. And now he's dead, and it's your fault.
Carajo, puñeta mentirosa! You were ecstatic that we were bonding. The last time I checked, you were at those marches too, every week, holding his hand. And reading speeches by Abilusa and Betances, and the hostos, and glorifying the movement just as much. Don't you dare put this on me.
There was nothing we could have done.
God has his reasons. God put Kiki on this earth for a purpose. Some people make their mark when they're living. Others have to die before they make an impact. Kiki can change the entire course of our history, but only if we act.
God is an excuse people make so they don't kill themselves in despair.
Coño! Everyone is waiting. We only have the space for an hour. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. People will understand.
Adria approaches the coffin.
What did you see in them, mijo? What made you think you could trust them?
Lights dim, and the spotlight shines on Gonzo at the height of his time as an independent peacemaker.
Since the beginning, there have been countries that lead and those countries that follow. Even though you're young, younger than you look, it is clear to me that you want Puerto Rico to be one of those leaders. And while I share your desire to see our people pull this trigger of our destiny, I will not deceive you. We are followers. But all countries begin as followers. The decision to overcome the expectations of others and pursue becoming an empire is one made by a minority. The majority are lazy idiots, addicted to comfort and easy solutions. In order to change the world, a minority of savage men must take on the responsibility of committing the crimes that average men are too cowardly to do. You must have more courage, 10 times more than all those idiots sitting on those sofas, waiting for a change that will never come. You must have the willingness to die 1,000 deaths. And above all else, you must carry within the desire to kill whoever tries to block your progress. You must be a monster for your mother. Listen to me when I tell you.
A picture of Ramon Emeterio Betances appears on the screen.
We are firm and constant in our proposals. For us awaits only the disastrous struggle, tireless. The pain will never let up. Exile, martyrdom, death. More so for our children. The fortunate fact of our indomitable independence, our legacy, the ineffable glory of not having to remain in foreign lands, of being our autonomous selves, which is supreme happiness, inclined before the sole empire of justice and below the sweet sky of our country, free and independent. That is something my father taught me. That is something he taught me as a child. And I have carried it with me to guide me through these times of treachery and cowardliness. Yes, my words do sound a lot like Betances, but only because his words live within me, just like ours would live within the next generation.
On the screen, we see video of Estrada performing. 2 spotlights reveal Gonzo and Maricarmen standing side by side looking at the audience as they speak. Over the course of the conversation, the lights should change to reflect the changing moods and time periods.
Hola, Gonzo. My name is Maricarmen. I saw you speak last year at Antonia's memorial, and when Rosita told me you would be here tonight, I had to meet you. Your passion, your resolve for our people. So many are giving up. So many feel like it's the end of our nation, our culture, that America will erase us like they have other minorities. Your words inspired me to be strong, to do whatever is necessary to save our island.
I'm very touched. Thank you. But I'm just one man. One man alone can't change the world. But if I am going to inspire someone, I'm happy it was you.
All of my friends speak the world of you. To be honest, I've had sort of a rocky relationship with independentistas. I think they can be arrogant and self-serving at times, short-sighted, and please don't tell Rosita, but I've only voted for the populares. I guess I'm more of a soberanista than independentista. But what you said at that memorial, it made me start to feel otherwise. That there will always be challenges, there will always be setbacks, but what about the struggles that exist now? If we can live with them, why can't we live with new struggles? Ones that are on our terms?
I think it is good to listen to your heart. You don't have to buy into what anybody else thinks. You know what is right for you, and that is all I've done. Speak from the heart. The others like what I say is just a bonus.
Que humilde. You could be the next Avisu if you wanted to.
Exagerado.
It's true. Every group on campus, Fupi, the socialists, the communists, they all speak the world of you.
Well, last thing I'd want to be is one of those arrogant nationalist types.
I can tell your heart is good. And your spell is not bad either.
Most girls would not be so forward.
I'm a new kind of woman.
Good, because these old ones bore me.
Like,
How can we afford our house? You work odd jobs? Actually, what is your job? You're always leaving at different times and
I have a lot of side hustles. Some of it is under the table. Nothing illegal, I promise. It's hard having a job when you're a nationalist.
are you being honest with me? It's not another woman, is it?
Mari, as much as you suck on my neck, don't you think you would have smelled another woman by now? I'm not like that. I pay our bills and that's all that should matter.
There's something you're not telling me.
Mari, this life is dangerous. Cops are trailing us all the time. There are rumors of spies infiltrating all the groups at La Yupi. I had to kick someone out last week because he couldn't verify his whereabouts. San Juan is a bomb ready to go off, and I am in charge of a dozen people who rely on me to keep them out of jail. I have so much going on without you questioning what I'm doing or where our money comes from. Trust me, that's all I ask.
might change.
I can't even look at you.
Do you understand why I lied to you?
You were always talking about spies when it was you all along.
Not just me. The independence movement is full of spies. Some high school recruits like me, other veterans cops, others are feds.
You're a stranger.
You know me for 4 years. The only thing I ever lied to you about are my politics and my profession. There's a lot more to a person than just that.
Now I understand why your father was always so disapproving. You never told him, did you?
I couldn't tell anyone. I tore him apart. He thought I had betrayed him.
Could I have died too without knowing?
It was gonna come out sooner rather than later.
So what do you believe?
That Puerto Rico should be a state. We are Americans. We are on the side of freedom. And if I didn't do this work, we'd all be communists.
You were our sole defense from the Russians.
Not me especially, people like me. The work we do protects the United States.
And what do you think of me?
I love you.
Really? You love your soberanista wife?
That's just politics. I know you as a person. Your politics are just a cute thing about you.
They are my beliefs. It's not some cute thing.
Maddie, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I love you. And things are about to get really weird, and I need you by my
You
side.
lied to me for 4 years.
I had no choice. It was to keep us safe. I did it out of love.
What else are you hiding?
Nothing, I swear.
Is the story true? Were they terrorists?
Yes, they were. We did what we had to do. Now, Mari, things are gonna be crazy for a little bit, but we'll be better off in the end. We've been wanting to work more, and there's an open position at the precinct, and I think you would be good for it, full time.
Why do you want me to work at your precinct?
People are gonna be saying a lot of things about me, and I want to make sure there's someone I trust nearby to look out for me. For us.
Lights fade. A spotlight comes up on Adria wearing a sundress.
Mijo, we need to talk. Your father told me that what you said after the rally yesterday, and you know he was right to be upset. These are dangerous times and people like us are targets. Estadistas look down on us. They call us communists, traitors, and terrorists. They have been brainwashed into believing that their own people are foreigners and they all belong with the Americans. They turn Puerto Ricans against Puerto Ricans by making us think that they are our friends. Talking about progress and when all they want to do is make us slaves to the United States. They are nothing more than pawns of the FBI. And if you think this threat is something distant, it's happening in our own circles. Spies are everywhere, mijo. You need to be vigilant. You know the story of Antonia. Be careful of cops. Eres negro. To the estadistas, you're not even human. But if you believe in their cause, they'll treat you like a pet. Black and a nationalist. Mijo, the cops already have enough reasons to kill you. Why give them another? When you are confronted by a cop, you remember your manners. Never look at them in the eye. Keep your hands away from your pockets and do not raise your voice. Any excuse, mijo, will be the end of you. And the end of you is the end of me.
Lights fall, and in the darkness, the sound of conga drums. Lights up on the entire stage. Gonzo and Adria are both seated, facing each other. The lights on stage left fall, showing Adria's face. Then her lights lower while the lights on Gonzo rise. Over the course of the scene, the lights will alternate to each space when the other character speaks. The actor should address the darkness across from them and not the audience. The conga drums play over the entire exchange and should match the intensity of the actors.
I pulled a gun. I know, stupid Mari. I got into that morning on the way to the beach. Kept changing the fucking radio, so when the Maricon rear-ended me, first thing I did, reach for my gun. Reporters hounded me for months. I was tired, fucking agotado, the disrespect. First that cunt, then some reporter who can't even fucking drive. I shot at the ground. Not like he had to go to the hospital. Okay, he wasn't a reporter. I was in the wrong. I can admit that. Can you blame me for being a cop? Being a cop is hard. Civilians have no respect. Anybody would crack from time to time. Give me a break. You know how difficult
This has been the worst day yet. Why can't we have a day of quiet? Always has his friends over. All they talk about is the case, the witness, how his story is different, the calls for investigations, Cero Maravilla, every other word. Eusebio, I don't want to talk about the case in our house. Quique's grave isn't even cold. Can we give him some respect? Every day, carajo. If I hear the name of that stupid mountain one more time, I'm going to take a bottle of Pitorro and start swinging. I swear I've had enough. I just want to wake up. No visitors, no press waiting to take pictures. I had to put blinds on the patio. Can't even go to the grocery store. I hear the TV. I hear the reports. Then at night, I wait for Eusebio to go to sleep. I walk around the house. The only thing I hear, coquis. Their song soothes me. It's the only noise I enjoy. Can't even listen to music because every song brings back another memory. My eyes hurt, the tears afraid, my insides are flooded. The goddamn talking all day rip me to shreds. Their laughter, rage at the stupid news, stupid revolution makes me sick all the time. I want to scream. What will talking about revolution do for anyone? What did it do for Quique?
What did they even notice when I showed up to the governor's re-election celebration? I stood there like a fucking idiot. 3 hours, nobody talked to me. He only won re-election because of me. The independentistas have terrified this country, hurt our economy. Their strikes, protests in La UP. The professors teach the students, hate the United States. How can you hate your savior? It's like hating Jesus for fucking sake, a public institution, taxpayer dollar educating our youth to be commie terrorists. I sent a message. If these morons didn't have their heads up their asses, they had seen the message worked. We are Americans. You don't want to be an American? Go to the fucking Soviet Union. You don't want to recognize all I've done for you, Romero? Yeah, give that speech like you won this re-election all by your fucking self. I smack sense into the spics. For you, for our party, for our future. In 10 years, I tell you, in 10 years, when you're still governor, you'll be thinking, mi cabrón, soon the rest of Puerto Rico will come around us statehood. I did that. You're nothing without
me. Who is that even more? I can't even be like Eusebio. If I'm comfort in my beliefs every time my friends come over talking about rally speeches in honor of Quique, using his movement to expand the movement, win elections. I feel sick. I know it makes him happy. He's honoring Quique. It's bullshit to me. How you turn a death into a victory, it's denial. That's all denial that our movement is winning when we are 6 feet under the ocean, empty promises, empty phrases, empty hope. Yet that's who I was if I had happened to me as a friend. Wouldn't I be trying to inspire them, motivate them? Wouldn't I try to use tragedy to my advantage? I can't even say anymore. I don't remember that person. She's a stranger. She loved being outside, traveling, seeing friends, met a bacalao, flamboyadas, a taste of cocoa, laying on the sand, listening to the waves, looking up at the sky at sunset. So many reasons to live. They all sicken me now.
Who am I to complain? I got a promotion flying helicopters, rescue missions like the hero I am. Who am I kidding? They're only slightly better than a desk job or a beat cop. I don't even get paid more. We had to do more after some vandals spray painted our house, kept getting death threats, had to move to a new house, more expensive, same pay, can't even pay my bills on time, marry working, the dignity of it all. I wish I had
a gun, would be so quick, just below the chin, I wouldn't even feel anything. It would be over. What if I die? It's just darkness, no heaven, purgatory, hell. My soul suspended, missing my son for eternity. I can't find my way through the darkness. I could be wrong, there could be heaven, he could be there. How is that not a delusion too, like freedom, happiness in his pursuit? What did
I do
to deserve this pain?
Wasn't I loyal?
Always kept
My word, not that
you care, God.
If this is a test, then fuck.
You've done nothing but make me suffer.
Make me look like a
clown, like a fucking joke.
If I was a clown for the cost to not be another spick, fuck this city, fuck this island, fuck this life, man, fuck!
Full lights come up to reveal Maricarmen standing across from Gonzo. Gonzo stop playing.
Is it true?
What do you mean?
You told me that taxista was lying when he said those boys were unarmed. You said he was trying to become famous.
Yes, that is true. He's just some dumb hero trying to make a buck.
Did you kill those boys?
Where is this coming from?
Did you?
Mari, who's out?
Don't try to be sweet. You have asked a lot of me, and I have been there for you. But on the condition that you don't lie to me anymore. Did you kill those boys?
No.
Then what does everyone at the precinct say you did?
I'm a scapegoat, that's why. All lies,
That's not
Mari.
all they say. Other cops say these things to me. How are you going to discredit them? Come mierda tú eres. Did you kill those boys?
No. No, I left before they were killed.
Then why did the other officers kill them?
I ordered them to do so.
All because of politics? Because they didn't think the way you do? What about your soberanista wife?
Mari, I love you.
You don't know what love is, you fucking monster? You have humiliated me for years with your lies and manipulations, and I let you. I used to have dignity, and I let you take it all away, turn me into a fool, a fucking tonta. It's over.
Don't say that.
Or what? You're gonna order my death too? Because you're too much of a cabrón cobarde to do it yourself? A real man would strangle me himself, squeeze the life out of me with his own two hands, so do it. Prove that you're a man. Prove it.
You need to calm down. Lay down and get some rest. I had a long day at work.
And I'm about to have a long night of moving my things out and finding a lawyer.
Don't do this. Don't make this be the end.
This charade never existed. I married a fiction. I told you the night we met that I'm a new kind of woman. Most Boricua women will run to their rooms and cry and play the martyr while their husband fucks their life. That's the old kind of woman. The kind you said bores you. Another fucking lie. You spent 6 years of my life trying to make me one of them. But I don't lie, and I won't be anyone's martyr.
Maricarmen marches past Gonzo, who remains paralyzed. Gonzo is alone as the lights fall. Act 2, Confessions. Spotlight follows Gonzo, drunk, disheveled, stumbling across the stage with a bottle in his hand. He takes a seat at the edge of the stage. He addresses the audience.
The nationalists like to talk a lot about how history was written by the conquerors. That our understanding of the world is tainted by the ideas and perspectives that prevent us from truly valuing our culture. It is an attractive idea. A few times I thought about it, and it gave me doubts about my beliefs, about things my father would say, about Morales and his certainty in our cause. What if we're wrong for supporting the conquerors, for wanting to be like them? No, we can't ever be like them because we're losers. That's a hard thing to stomach, right? To be a loser your whole life, To know that any achievement you ever do, that your people ever do, will never be on the same level as what a white person does? You can't outrun who you are. You can't bleach your skin, strain your hair, fuck 10 white bitches, and you will still be a spick. A Puerto Rican spick at that. Bottom of the barrel, incapable of doing anything without welfare program. Our best governor is still the worst governor in the U.S. Blacks think if you do things 10 times as good as a white man, then you can make it. For Spicks, it could be 100 times as good and it still wouldn't be enough.
Spotlight dims and backstage lights come up to show Teresa, her hair green, wearing all white, indicating she practices Santeria. She is lighting candles on a table and appears in deep concentration. We hear a knock at the door.
Pase.
Adria enters, disheveled and looking exhausted. Teresa embraces her, but Adria barely responds. Teresa motions for her to sit.
Cariño, would you like something to drink?
You have any rum?
You know I don't drink.
Jugo de acerola.
Yes, of course.
While Teresa fetches the juice, Adria takes a seat. As she waits, she gets lost in observing the candles. Teresa returns and hands her the drink before taking a seat.
What's new? How's Eusebio?
The same.
Have you talked to him about what we talked about last week?
I could scream in his ears and he wouldn't hear me.
He's your spouse. You should know how you feel.
He doesn't suffer like me. He has a meaning to his life. What the hell do I have?
Adria, I love you.
But you're tired of my shit.
I didn't say that.
You don't have to. I know. You're my last friend. I'm sure you think I should go with Eusebio to the Senate hearings.
You don't?
For what? I see no reason to be there.
Adria, I know in the past you haven't wanted to, but have you thought about seeing someone?
I don't care about your witch doctors.
Con los santos no se juega, mama.
Or what? Are they gonna kill me? Oh, I wish they would. Then I definitely fuck with them more.
Look, it's fine that you don't believe in spirits, but in my house you will respect them.
I don't need help. I just want to be left in peace.
Your friends, all of us, even though you think they've abandoned you. You're wrong. We all miss you, especially at the meetings. There's a protest this Saturday. Maybe it would help if you came out and spent some time with your community.
How many protests have you gone to? Oh, and how much has changed?
Change is a slow process. God damn it, Adria. Before you were so revolutionary. You inspired me more than anybody else. One time you slapped a cop, and when they arrested us, you spent the whole time in the holding cell reciting Albizu. Remember when you spit on that senator at El Capitolio? That's the Adria I knew.
That Adria had a son.
Mama, don't hate me. I understand your sadness. I understand you're experiencing so much pain because of what happened to Kike. But you don't have to let it destroy your life. You don't have to run away from all the things that matter to you, that you fought so hard for. Querida mía, you were always so much more than a mother. You were a warrior too.
Are you telling me how I should mourn the death of my son?
It's been 5 years.
Only a fucking bitch who can't have children of her own would say something so cruel. It's not my fault you're barren.
Really? You were the bravest woman I have ever known. But now you are nothing more than a coward.
I am a coward. Me? I'm still here. I didn't jump off a bridge or take a bottle of pills. I get out of bed every day. I put on my clothes, I work, and I support the family that I have left. But you have the nerve to give me a sermon, even though you never had a child, and you've never been married. What do you know about bravery? You dare judge me because I don't march and give speeches with a stoic face in order to inspire young people to hope? Hope for what? Don't you see? Everything I did pushed my son closer to death. I killed my son, and so did you and our friends and Eusebio. It's our fault he died on that mountain. Sorry. Forgive me, okay? It's my fault. I don't know how to move on with my life. I don't know how to be a friend or a good person. I'm lost.
Carino, listen to me. The movement didn't kill your son, and neither did you. The United States brainwashes us into thinking we can't take care of ourselves. We don't believe that we can survive without them, that we'll fail. We keep waiting for someone to make our dreams come true. And that's why we need people like you to fight and show our people that not even the worst tragedies can kill our spirit.
Think I'm an idiot?
Never.
I'm not your puppet. And Kike isn't the key to our freedom. Ever since his death, you assholes have only wanted to exploit my tragedy.
You misunderstood.
Oh, explain it to me then. Explain how the death of my son helps this failed movement. This movement that is nothing but promises and has no future. Couldn't even use the most obvious moment in the history of the island to rise up. If Kike's death was so important, why are we free? Why was that son of a bitch governor reelected? Why have the populares taken control of the investigation? Why aren't la gente taking to the streets demanding our independence? Where's the support for change? Where is a promised revolution? Where is the justice?
Justice is not a straight line. Sometimes it stalls and loses its focus, but if we keep on struggling for our truth, then justice will come. We don't fight for justice because we expect it to be quick or easy. We fight knowing that the result may not happen in our lifetime.
Then justice may not even come to the men who killed my boy.
I don't want to say that. Every crime causes the soul to suffer, and that suffering lasts forever, even after death.
You know I don't believe in spirits.
It's not a question of spirits, it's just finding another way to carry on.
I don't know how. Call me pathetic. Call me a coward. I'm tired of this world. I'm tired of putting on a mask to make other people more comfortable. I am so sorry. I can't help you feel better about my son's death.
That is not.
That's exactly what it is. The movement is your child. But the difference is that you continue to believe that yours is alive.
Adria marches off the stage as the backstage lights fall and Gonzo's spotlight rises.
Do you know why white people win? Because they like the taste of blood. They like laying waste to all their opponents so they can sit on top of a mountain and jerk off onto the masses below. And they don't give a fuck about who they have to step on. They are willing to be monsters. They are the types of monsters that will convince the whole world their cruelty is just and loving. No apologies. That's a fucking winner. If Spicks could get their head out their asses long enough, they have seen that we shouldn't be jealous of the conquerors. We should be the conquerors. The conquerors have a culture of winning. Why the fuck wouldn't I want to be part of that, huh? Wouldn't you? If you say no, then I gotta ask. Why are you living in the U.S. and not in your precious Isla del Encanto?
The spotlight fades. The screen turns on and shows a series of injustices reported in history. The Ponce Massacre, the 1950 Revolution, Pedro Campos' body burnt by radiation experiments, protests at Vieques, college students being brutalized by the police. After the video, the lights rise to show Eusebio weeping at the kitchen table when Adria enters. Her outfit is well put together, and she has makeup on. She is sad, but in better spirits than in the previous scene. There is a phone on the table and a stack of bills.
¿Qué pasó? What happened?
Where were you?
Titi Conchi's in the hospital. I was visiting her. Why were you crying?
You didn't come today. You said you would.
I couldn't. I get no pleasure from those hearings.
Yeah, I thought I did. Some sort of catharsis seeing those bastards on the stand getting grilled in public. I thought it'd be like seeing them hanged repeatedly.
And today?
Today, they confessed. Cruz, he was the officer who said our son's last words were, "If you're going to kill me, shoot me in the head so I don't suffer." How brave he was. So much braver than me. Why didn't I ever tell him that?
You don't need to be shot in the head to be brave.
I know, but get cojones to say that to your killer. I didn't know he had it in him.
The first march that I ever took him to, the police fired rubber bullets and tear gas at the crowd.
I remember that. He told me he thought it was fun.
He didn't want us to leave. He said, "Mommy, we didn't finish the march."
When Cruz confessed, I thought the weight that's been on my chest would go away. But it's still there. Even feeling pride for Kike's courage has just made me miss him more. I'm so angry. I'm so angry that I can't stop feeling this.
Adria grabs his hand and pulls it to her chest.
This is the most you've touched me in months. Used to be we were the couple bragging about being together over 10 years and still unable to take our hands off each other. Even Kike used to tease us.
Kissing again? I thought you were happy. You know, I felt betrayed that you could go on with your life, and I haven't even...
How could you ever? You and I. You're not the person I married.
You're not the person I married.
You remind me of him. He had your eyes, your smile.
You laugh like him. And the way you both walk into rooms and fill them with your presence, I can't stand your laugh. Or when your friends come over and you start talking politics, it sounds so much like him. I hate having meals with you because you both smack your lips.
How can I be married to a person who can't stand my laugh, how I eat, or how I can walk or talk?
Well, I can't pluck out my eyes or cut off my mouth.
We laugh, but Eusebio is cut short as he remembers what she said.
How do we move forward? How can we love you again?
The phone rings. Eusebio picks it up and listens.
Hello? No, I'm her husband. It's the doctor from the hospital.
Hello? Yes. When? Thank you. I'll be there shortly. Titi Conchi just passed.
How do you feel?
I feel nothing.
Adria exits. Eusebio rises and pursues her. We hear a door close and the lights fall. In the darkness, the sound of the ocean. On the screen, we see an image of La Perla, Puerto Rico's most infamous slum. Adria's recorded voice begins to play.
Eusebio died on a Saturday. 2 weeks after we separated, his sister said he drank himself to death because of me and spat in my face. I can't say I blame her, though I know the truth. You know, sometimes the body dies long after the heart has stopped beating. I saw it on his face the day I moved to Titi Conchi's house in La Perla. My first days here, I felt such freedom in my solitude. For 5 years, I had begged for silence to reflect and to heal, to either return to the person I was or create someone new. But in silence, there is nothing to stop your thoughts, your memories, and regrets. I would walk along the streets and coastline and not be able to bring myself to talk to anyone. Consumed by my dead. Consumed by the indifference of the universe. Consumed by how empty I felt. One day, I walked out into the sea at low tide, and I waited. I waited for the water to rise up to my thighs, my waist, my chest. I waited for a wave to to knock me off my balance, I wouldn't fight. I would accept my fate. And then a hand grabbed me by the arm, and I saw a fisherman with loving eyes and a king's smile. My Pedro, who refused to let me sink, who carried me back to the shore, who visited me the next day and the day after, until I didn't want to be alone anymore.
The screen turns off and the lights rise on Pedro, dressed in a guayabera and wearing a straw hat, sitting at a table with a bottle of Bacardi, a can of Diet Coke and Domino's. Adria enters carrying glasses and sets them on the table. Salsa music plays, either Ruben Blades or Hector Lavoe. Pedro pours them each a rum and coke. Adria runs off stage and comes back with lime slices, which she places on the rims of the glasses, which they then raise in a toast.
So 3 years in La Perla.
La Perla.
Salud.
Salud. And another shot for Titi Conchi for leaving me this house, this refuge.
Adria drinks and refills her glass. They each have a seat and begin setting up the dominoes. They play the game throughout the scene.
No cheating this time.
If only you know how poorly I play with you, yet I still win.
Oh, I never lost a game a day in my life before you moved here.
I have a hard time believing that. Should I ask Emeterio the next time we have Sunday dinner?
And Eusebio has a bad memory.
You have a double six?
Double 5.
You go first then. See? I'm fair. I could have said ladies first.
Oh, there's a lady again? I must have missed it.
I was gonna make alcapurrias later. It's a shame I'll be eating them alone.
Well, I need to lose weight anyway.
Adria gives him a look and then lays down a domino that elicits a strong reaction from Pedro.
Puñeta!
Dios mío, my game has barely started and you're about to have a stroke.
I don't even know why we are celebrating you moving here. Life was so much happier before that.
How fast things change.
I don't know how the husband of yours put up with you for so many years.
But now you understand why we separated.
I should have bought him a drink when I had a chance.
Oh, he wouldn't have liked you. He tended not to like men who undress me with their eyes.
Cheo Feliciano's Mi Triste Problema starts playing, and Adria's demeanor changes. Pedro makes a move with a sly grin, but when he sees Adria lost in her sadness, his smile vanishes.
We were having such a good time. I can change the station.
Sorry. We love Cheo. It's a beautiful song. Don't change it.
When my Natalia died, I threw out all her Iris Chacon and La Lupe records. I still can't hear their songs.
Titi Conchi would watch Kike on Friday nights so I could go dancing. She had raised her sons to, by herself too, and would always tell me, you can't be a good mother to your son if you aren't a good woman to yourself. There was a club nearby, El Coquin, and I would meet my friend Teresa.
The one who won't talk to you now.
Yeah, I still feel bad about that. But, I tried to apologize.
And she slammed the door in your face.
I can't say that I blamed her. Anyway, I would meet Teresa, and, she was dating the doorman at the time, so we would go straight in, and the whole night I'd forget all about my responsibilities and just be young.
Adria stands up and begins to dance to the music. Pedro follows her and they begin to dance.
I wish you would have known me then.
Me and Laura, we met when we needed to.
They dance toward the table and Adria briefly leans over to set down a domino, eliciting a laugh from Pedro.
I think I forgot.
Oh, never.
Adria caresses Pedro's face and the dance slows down. Their bodies pressed against each other, their eyes locked. Pedro presses his hand against her spine and leans in to kiss her. For a moment their mouths touch, but only for Adria to pull away, tears forming in her eyes.
I'm sorry. Still feels wrong to be happy.
Pedro holds her from behind as she collects herself.
You look like Ike's father, The way you looked at me, that's how he used to look at me before I was pregnant. He was older, but still a teenager and didn't know how to deal with being a father. This is terrible to admit, but I married Eusebio because I admired him more than because I loved him. He treated me so well, wanted to be good for him. But then Kike died, and when he died, a part of me felt like, I lost his father all over again.
everything is logical, Adria. The world tries to act like everything in life makes sense, but the heart knows that we are wild and don't always understand why we feel the way we feel.
No, I came to La Perla so I wouldn't have to explain myself anymore. People leave you alone here. I thought getting away from the world would cure me from my pain. I'm still here, and at the worst times.
What are you talking about, the worst times? On when?
Pedro makes a move, causing Adria to study the table closely. She then makes a move and wraps her arms around Pedro's neck.
Not anymore.
As it should be.
I'm sorry I can't be more for you. You know, it's not that I don't want to.
Pedro kisses her on the forehead. They begin to dance, crossing the stage. Pedro spins Adria and she snuggles up close to him. The light fades until a single light shines down on the couple. The music stops and Adria palms his cheek.
I feel safe. I never thought I would feel safe again.
Adria steps into the darkness while Pedro remains in the light.
When we first met, I knew I would love you. We have laughs, we argue sometimes. On days like today, I do everything possible to give you joy, but I know that most of what I feel is one-sided. You love me in your own way, but life has burned the pathways to your heart. I content myself with being your friend, a beloved friend. I thought life had cut out my heart and condemned me to this small strip of forgotten land, the last piece of Yale, Puerto Rico, but you make me see it as beautiful. Every day I go out fishing. I marvel at the light on the waves. I cheer when I make a catch. I savor the flavors of each bite. All because of you. You inspired me to see the beauty in the pain, the wonders that embrace our sadness. I want to be happy, to show you that you can be too. I want to laugh so you don't forget how. Don't be ashamed of your wounds, my love. Every bullet that pierced your soul made you the woman you are today. A woman I cherish. A woman who gives me life. I love you as the sun loves the earth every night when it kisses its shores. I love you like the wind that dances with the palm trees at night. I love you as humble man as I may be, as you'll never know. You'll never know.
The screen comes on and shows images from the Sacramento trials, including pictures of the real Gonzo in the trials. Lights up on Capt. Morales and Detective Olivera at the table eating. Gonzo enters, disheveled and red-faced.
Gonzo, what brings you here?
We need to talk.
Can this wait till after we eat? At least sit down before you create a scene.
I am done talking to you. I want to hear from the Capitan.
What did I tell you? When the captain is ready to speak to you, you will know.
Fuck you. I don't need your permission.
Why don't you sit your ass down before you make more of a scene? So, what's on your mind?
I told you I want to talk to the Capitan. You and me have talked enough. I've waited 8 years for my meeting, and I won't wait another day.
Then I suggest you not waste your opportunity.
You were supposed to protect me.
You were acquitted, weren't you? Every single cop involved in that mess is in jail, except for you.
What's that? What's the good of being acquitted if your reputation is shit?
That's your own fault, Gonzo.
Like I said, I'm not here for you. I did what you told me to do. From day one, you told me the nationalists needed to be put in their place, or else we'd end up like Cuba or Vietnam. You told me
Did he
that-
tell you to kill anyone?
You told me I could trust you, that you had the answers, and if I followed you, then I would be a hero. Instead, I'm suspended.
For a completely unrelated incident.
I can't find a job. Nobody will even act as a reference. The FBI won't take me. The government won't hire me. I can't even get an interview to be a fucking security guard.
If you're looking for a job, let's go out back and you can jerk me off for $10.
What the fuck did I ever do to you?
Is this really how you're gonna behave in front of Captain.
No me burles, cabrón.
And stop joking around.
Stop interrupting me.
Should I get a leash for your dog, Captain?
Ya! Basta! You're indignant. I respect that. It means you're a true believer. That's why I hired you. But I think you've lost your perspective. The system always wins. Comprende? It will always win. That's why I'm an estadista. It's not because I love the Yankees more than my own people. It's because I'm a realist. The independentistas think that by changing a government, that Puerto Rican society will be free to do what it pleases, as though when Fidel won, they didn't end up right back under the influence of another empire, dictating the terms of their revolution. A joke. A joke! Activistas, union organizers, all screaming and fighting to be heard against a wall bigger than they'll ever be. You want to change the world? Find a way to make a rich man richer. The system is tolerant. The system is progressive, even democratic, no matter if it's solely due to a cause that is capable of being exploited. We don't love the United States. We love the system that keeps our bellies full and our minds distracted. There are no people on earth who allow fear to dictate their actions more than Puerto Ricans do. There's some people, and certainly the independentistas, they see this as a weakness, not me. See, I believe our people are clear-headed enough to recognize a truth that the rest of the world denies, that the overlords who dictate the terms upon which the world will run will never, no matter what kind of change occurs, be defeated. The system adapts through evolution or destruction. It endures. It endures. What makes you so special that you think the system gives a rat's ass about a low-level screw-up like you? Alejandro, I taught you so much, and yet all you took from it is that if you suck Uncle Sam's dick, that somehow you matter. You're just another rat in a maze. Lost. Confused. You waited 8 years to throw a temper tantrum in my face. And then you wonder why you are alone. You will never have power because you don't respect your place in the world.
I used to think that being on the right side of history would protect me. I know I messed up, but does loyalty mean nothing anymore? Can you just help me with this one last time?
Christ. Have you no dignity?
Gonzo breaks down and begins to sob. Captain Morales continues eating. Gonzo gets up, pleading with Captain Morales with his eyes, but the captain ignores him, even as he exits. Lights fall. On the screen, we see a video of the aftermath of Hurricane Maria and the 2019 protests against Governor Ricardo Rosselló. When the video ends, lights up on Gonzo lying in the middle of the stage, covered in blood. his body turned toward the audience, his face frozen in shock. The screen turns on, and during the speech, the camera slowly zooms in on his face. We hear an audio recording of Gonzo speaking.
This is what you wanted, no? To see me lying on the concrete, my guts spilling out, lifeless. You begged for this moment. You must have think that with such a big scandal, the PNP must have broken up. There must have been 30 years of popular dominance, and the Estado Libre is as strong as ever. And you would be wrong. My assassins, the volunteer organization for the revolution, thought that getting rid of me and the other cops involved in Cerro Maravilla would rally the people to their cause, just as the macheteros thought shooting up a Navy bus in '79 and blowing up National Guard planes in '81 would bring about the revolution. You see me here, bleeding out, and can imagine the solidarity in the nationalist community coming to a head. Tanks being stolen from National Guard posts and driven up the streets of Viejo San Juan, all the way to La Fortaleza. Yet, in reality, nobody cared. My corpse didn't even warrant a full investigation. Payback, I suppose. Give the terrorists a sacrificial lamb to satisfy their bloodlust. But once I was gone, the stain on the Estadista movement quickly faded. And our Reagan, Pedro Rosselló, rose from the ashes. And just as I had predicted, the general population of the island saw nationalists as either a joke or a threat. Sure, they had their moments at Vieques and when Filiberto was assassinated, but not even that could stop Puerto Ricans from supporting state. The nationalists are dying off, the populares are dying off, the estadistas are getting younger, bolder, stronger. Not even Hurricane Maria can stop us. We have been here before, beaten on the mat, only to rise again. Because people like me, Capitan Morales, Pedro Rosselló, even his idiot son Ricky, and then crook Luis Fortuño, we have become a part of Puerto Rican DNA. Pat yourselves on the back with your righteousness. That's all you nationalists have left. You have no support, no base, no base, no future.
Gonzo smiles.
We are the future. If you don't like it, what are you going to do about it?
Lights up on a table that is bare save for a small radio. Adria enters in a formal dress carrying a loaf of paneado of pansada, coffee, and a bag of pastries. She sets down the food and sips on her coffee as she turns on the radio. Olivera plays and she begins to dance. Pedro enters, watching her. After a minute or two, she notices his presence.
Coño, me asustaste.
Why are you all messed up?
Why do you think? I went to church.
You went to church?
Not to pray. I went to La Catedral de San Juan Bautista to see the statue of Mary draped with our flag. You know, I thought about when I was a child, putting that flag in your window could get you thrown in jail. And now it's hung up in a church, a mausoleum, buried with all of our other heroes. I believed in that flag. I believed in Don Pedro and the Hostos. Even believe in Berrios for a time.
What do you believe now?
Silence. Silence and God.
possibly believe in God? A smart woman like you.
Oh, not the God of the Bible or the Americans. No, my own personal God, as I understand it.
Yeah, but why?
Join me for breakfast, and I'll tell you.
That's me, placer.
Pedro sits down and they both tear up the bread and select a pastry from the bag.
When I heard the news of Gonzalez Malave's death, it brought me no comfort, no joy. All the things he stood for still existed. What a fucked up people we are. We call giving in to our colonial overlords progress? Forget Spanish. The only language we know since the Taínos were ripped out of existence. Forget it. It is a language of dark people with dark blood, dark hearts. Forget your traditions. Forget your spirit. Forget the beauty of skin as dark as burnt caramel. So dark, it's almost blue. Of brown eyes and nappy hair whose depths reach the heart of the earth. Very right, very white. Speak English. It is progress to be like an American. Progress to speak like an American. Progress to wrap those stars and bars around you and forget, and forget, and forget.
I've almost forgotten your point.
You can eat breakfast elsewhere, you know.
Pedro holds up his hands.
That American flag, what has it ever done to us? That flag closed the sugar industry in the name of protecting white Louisiana farmers. That flag closed the coffee industry, once the most sought after beans in Europe. That flag sterilized our women, experimented on our men, bombed our land until it was no longer fertile. That flag is progress, and anyone who tells you different will put a bullet in their heads.
Yet we still stand strong, as determined as ever.
Do we really? We who live in exile?
Recharging our batteries for when the rest of the island finally wakes up.
On the screen, si me vas a matar, dame el tiro en la cabeza para no sufrir.
I lost my son because he loved this country. Every Latin American will tell you that loving your country is the quickest way to die. We must love the United States. We must dream within the United States. Outside its walls, we are beggars, but our knees are getting weak, covered in sores, festering in the noonday sun. My son believed that being Puerto Rican made him so important, until a cop decided one day to show him the error of his ways. We are animals, savage and heartless. So you ask me, why do I believe in God? A week ago, I drove into La Cordillera Pascaguas, found a place where I could see the stars.
The lights fade save for a spotlight downstage, which Adria enters. The screen projects images of the constellations, the Milky Way, the universe, for the remaining duration of Adria's speech.
I watched the universe swirl above me, and I became aware of how the light from the stars couldn't reach me. There was no moon. I was just another shadow on a lonely hill. I thought about if life existed in those distant galaxies. I thought about whether anyone in those galaxies were aware of our existence. Then I thought of God, and that if He is the creator of everything and chose to keep us apart, thinking we were the only creatures in the entire universe, what does that say about us? We can be forgotten. We can be erased. All my life, I wondered why people believed in some invisible creature no one has ever seen. And here it was. The people who seek out God the most are the most oppressed, most deeply suffering people. We believe. We believe because we need to know that there is an end to our suffering. When this planet spits us out, there will be no eulogy, no procession, only silence. God's promise to mankind. Where there's no men, there's no past, there is no injustice. You, Kike, you would have died on that mountain. If you would have died on that mountain, you would be free. I would be free. Great valleys and beaches of Puerto Rico would be free. Wiped clean from the memory of time.
The lights begin to fade. Congas play at a high tempo.
The system always wins. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever changes until...
Si me vas a matar, dame un tiro en la cabeza. Multiple gunshots. Kurt.